Hi, my name's Payton. I'm 23 years old and I'm a Toyota technician. I like to drift. You know, a lot of guys that are around my age, they just got out of school and they're looking into working on cars for a living. You know, I grew up wanting to work on cars. You know, I love cars, but something about driving them, I get more of a pleasure out of driving them. You know, and drifting is what I actually like to do. Well, you know, falling with the automotive side, drifting made me want to work on cars because I said, you know, I realize drift cars break a lot. They fall apart. And if you want to keep drifting, you have to fix them. And I didn't have the money to pay people to fix it for me, so it forced me to want to learn how to work on them. So I ended up wrenching and found out that I like that too, so they fell hand in hand. And I still do it to this day, and I love everything about it. When I clock in at work, I don't really ever feel like I'm at work. I love what I'm doing. I love what I'm touching. I love what I'm driving. Like this drift car right here, I've put so much money into this car. And, you know, finding out different problems like the wiring issues and how it runs and different cars that come in on the job. And as time is going forward, not backwards, we're becoming more advanced as a society. These cars are performing more and more precisely on the track. They're coming out with 700 horsepower drift cars now. And for me to be able to hang with those guys, I have to push myself. And, you know, nobody ever had to say, Shane, you know, these guys are coming out here with V8 cars and you really think you can hang with these guys? I already knew in my mind I need to get better just to hang with these guys. You know, I love the sport, I love doing it, and I would want to be able to compete one day. So, you know, like I push myself because I love the sport. And, you know, I don't want to stay neutral because coming this far with it already, I felt like it was a must to keep going forward. You know, there's those times, you know, where on the job I can't get a certain bolt loose, or I can't find a certain part, or I can't solve or diagnose a certain problem, and I get frustrated. But then usually I slow down and I think, you know, it's just a car. It's just a motor. It's just a transmission, you know, just take your time, breathe. And at that moment I sort of get mad and I say, forget this car, forget that. And I realize, well, I've been doing this for years and why am I still doing it if I don't like it? Really, it's just my anger speaking at that moment. But I really love these things and I really love drifting. And, you know, it was sort of hard continuing to drift because before I actually got into the automotive field seriously with Toyota, I was sort of just a street mechanic and, you know, nobody ever judged me for what I did. But working in a professional business now, a lot of the guys are very serious and they say, you drift, you beat cars up, you're a kid, and, you know, they look at you as if drifting is a kid thing, but realistically it's fun. You know, we all have our own styles. We're all doing one thing, but we all have our own style, and that's what's cool about it. I like being different and unique. And working on cars and drifting falls in the same category. See, we all have drift cars, but we all have different paint colors. We all have different rims. We all have different motors, and we all drive differently. And one thing about drifting is that it's unique. I guess it's just one of those things where you can be yourself and you can express yourself by the way you set your car up. Like, there's no wrong way to do drifting. There's no wrong way to set up a car. You know, you set it up to the way you want to feel, the way you want it to handle, and depending on how you drive will be, you know, the outcome of how your car is looked at. Like, wow, that guy has a cool style, or, you know, that guy's weak, or whatever it be, you know. It's just cool to be different, and I like drifting because it's different. You know, some people collect shoes, some people collect hats, shirts. I like to collect cars. I like to work on them. I like to use them for what they're made for. And the reason why I still do it till this day is just because I have a serious love for it. And honestly, I don't think the love will ever die. I've spent so much money on the cars already. I feel like if I was to get out of it, I would have got out of it a couple years ago. But it's just an addiction. It's almost like a drug, but a positive drug, depending on how you do it.